It's got to be on my side. So go ahead and go on your end.
Okay, everybody.
See,
Well, we're
if you
having a little
guys
bit
can
of
hear-
technical difficulties. Yeah. We can't communicate with each other, so that's the problem. Technical difficulties.
I'm going to leave webinar and go back.
Okay, let's see. We're going to restart it.
Brian, make a new organizer.
Okay.
I will be back.
All right, guys. Hopefully, Mary, I'm going to lean on you to be my sound check. Hopefully, you can hear me. We're okay.
I can hear you.
All right. So what Willie had up on his screen while he reboots and one of all the files, I apologize. I'm sitting in our new location, Saratoga office. But today, what we wanted to do is the annual home value report, which is something that we recommend once a year sending out. We're going to go through some of the notes here, and hopefully you guys got this all ahead of time. And we'll wait for him to come back on. But the whole premise behind it, and I don't want to jump too much ahead because I don't want to take away from the notes. But if you think about people and their investments, right? Why buy real estate? Not only just for a great place to live, but it's also been proven to be a great investment. And one of the nice things that you guys can use as a marketing tool or just to check in with your customers and your clients is giving them the value of their home. What's their biggest asset most people are going to own, right, is their property. And you guys have access to all kinds of information. One of the things that you guys have access to is RPR, and we're going to show you an example of what that report looks like. But you can create a basic CMA and RPR, a nice little seller report that you could send to past clients, prospects, anyone really that has a home right now, and share with them what it's worth. And if you think about their mail, right, one of the few pieces of mail I know in my house that gets open is when that 401k statement comes in. You want to see where your assets are, what they're worth. So I will definitely open that up and look at it. And when you're sending people a report, essentially what you're doing is sending a similar report like their 401k and their investment, but their biggest investment, you're showing them, you know, if it's gained value, it's gained equity, which most people are in this market, or whether they're losing a little bit, just kind of like watching the stock market. So in today's call, the goal is hopefully Willie will get back on here and get his audio situated, but we want to cover that today for you. I'm going to try to get a backup presentation here, a PowerPoint that I have up, and we'll share my screen here, and I'll start the conversation with you guys. But Mary, I'm going to call on you in a second here to verify, and I'm working with one screen. You know what that's like, going from working with two screens to one? So let's see if I can get this PowerPoint open. Oh, he made me presenter, but I don't think it's letting me present here. Nope, that's not letting me present. I don't know if he made me a presenter or not. Make a presenter, here we go. Oh, I don't want you guys seeing all the answers cheating here. All right, Mary, can you see that where it says in order to stay?
Yep, all set.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your patience in dealing with this. So our client management, this is the module that we're on, client relationship management. This is a great tool to use just to stay in front of your database, in front of your clients as well. But the annual home value call, so you guys can follow along on the notes here. In order to stay top of mind, as we always say with our clients, we need to reach out to them on a regular, at least once on an annual basis. Reaching out to our past clients is also a great way to save on marketing dollars when you're looking to generate new deals, right? We always say building your business on repeat referral business is definitely more profitable than going out there and buying leads. So I'd rather take the time and energy creating these materials and getting them out in the mail than going and spending hundreds of dollars a month just to buy cold leads, right? This is a great way to get some warm leads back. So we recommend using this annual report. And clients are always getting statements and updates, as we mentioned before, like their 401k. See what I did there? I ended up getting ahead of the sheets and ahead of the notes, as I mentioned before. So why not tell them what their home is worth? All right, so here's 6 different reasons why your clients want to get a home evaluation report. They want to speak to you and find out the value of their home, right? They want to be educated on the market. It's always changing. And I will say this, what I've experienced with these reports, you don't need to have sold a house to someone 2 years ago or 3 years ago to make a good candidate. I've actually seen agents send these reports out to someone that they just closed on over the summer, and they'll send them out this time of year, at the end of the year. And when the people see sometimes how much equity they've gotten in the house in a short period of time, we actually had a situation with an agent that did that. They closed, I believe, in June. She sent them this report at the end of the year in December, and they said, I almost said the agent's name, you know, we like this place so much, it's great, but wow, I can't believe that it's gained that much value in such a short period of time. And as we're starting to live here, we realize there's a lot of things we love about it, but some of the shortcomings is you don't know if it's quite big enough for what we need. So if there's really that much equity in the home so far, maybe we'll entertain putting this one on the market and finding an even bigger place. And so not only did that agent have the sale in June, but ended up putting the house on the market in January, and they ended up buying it. So 3 transactions in less than 12 months. Why? Because they sent them information so that they can make an informed decision on to whether or not they want to stay with the investment that they had, or if they didn't like it for whatever reason, they knew they had equity there that they can leverage to make a move possible. So that's one of the stories that jumps out at me when I think about these reports and doing this. So your clients may want to sell, right? Your clients may want to know the activity in their area. So this is always going to prompt, you know, an answer to the question. People are asking, you know, how's the market? What they're really asking is, you know, what's my house worth? What's my asset worth? And just being able to provide this information and send over a report like this that we're going to share with you and show you, and you guys all have access to it. It doesn't matter if you're here in the Capital District or if you're watching from another state, New Jersey or Texas or Dallas, which some of you guys come on. Most agents, if you're a member of National Association of Realtors, you're using RPR and your multiple listing service, and this is what we're using to access this data and send out these reports. So going back to the list here, your clients want to know exactly what's going on in their area, in their market, how it's impacting their value, right? Your home might need some upgrades. So that's another big key benefit of having a report like this. So there's a scenario. Let's say that, you know, I just spent $400,000 on a house, and I'm thinking about updating the kitchens and the bath. That's a big undertaking, right? It could be $50,000 to $100,000 worth of improvements. If I know the house is positive in equity or doing well, then I'll feel comfortable putting that investment in because I know it's only going to lift it up at even more. But if I see that the house is already showing I'm at the top end of the price point, is it really smart for me to invest $50,000 to $100,000 into it? So, you know, your clients will appreciate this information because it's going to help them make decisions whether or not they want to improve their property or spend more money on their investment, right? And this is a great tool that they could use to do that. You may have improvements already that they're not aware of. You know, I've had clients do that where, you know, they sunk $80,000 into a basement. And then when you see this report, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, well, we just put in $80,000 into the basement, so it's worth $80,000 more, right? Not necessarily. You never, on something like that, it's like putting an in-ground pool in, right? It might help the value, but you never get the dollar for dollar back. Having a tool like this and kind of knowing what the range is from low to high, it helps facilitate these types of conversations. That was the end of that notes there, the notes in the worksheet here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a second. We still don't have Willie on. I know, Mary, I think he MIA'd on us there with the technical difficulties down there. But bear with me, guys, here. I'm going to go back to another document that I have here. I want to show you guys what these reports look like, but I am working and operating again on one screen here. So here we go. masterclass call. So we got a copy of that. With these, you can call them and let them know that you're putting this in the mail, but you could also put a cover letter with it. I guess let me show you the report first, and then we'll get into the cover letter and show you what's the type of mailing you could do. And this is a great mailing to do at the end of the year. Right now, we have agents who are doing what we call accountability in our company. So this is a great tool that they can use for accountability. But an RPR report is basically, share my screen here with you guys. A second. Willie's still not back on. Come on now, Mary. Do you see that where it says, whoops, I lost you.
Yep, good to go.
29 Farm View. Push this out of the way. All right, so this is a property that Willie and Trish sold a few years back, and Trish runs this every time. Trish gets a kick out of this because she loves to see progress. And this is a great report that annually that we can print and stick in the mail. And it looks like, you spent hours on end. As you can see, this thing closed back in 2016 for $520. Look at the value that it has right now. Short and sweet and to the point. This looks just like an investment statement, right? This is going to give the homeowners direct information right now with regards to the value of their home. And it was just updated on November 24th, 2025. Now, just like Zestimate, nothing's perfect, right? You have to watch these. Some of these may make sense. Some of these may not. It's not 100% unique to the house. It's always going to factor in the surrounding areas. But the way you would read this to someone is that this RVM, this confidence level that you see here, it's saying that we believe there's enough data in the MLS that's in this formula, in this report, that's generating that we feel confident, 5 stars, that this range is pretty accurate for this home. And what it's going to do is if the condition of the home you go in there is not the greatest, that home's still going to be roughly around $812,000. If it's in superior condition, new construction, a lot of updates to it, brand new, it's probably going to be on the higher side, $973. But what this RVM is, this value that it gives, what it does is it really just takes this range and splits it in half. It says this. I haven't been inside the house. I don't know what the condition of the house is. So I'm going to say it's on average $892. So you as a realtor or maybe just talking to the prospect when they're looking at it, hey, if you've done a lot of improvements and the house is still in great condition like it was when we saw it, then you probably can cheat a little bit more towards the higher side as far as value goes. Or, if it still needs some improvements and updates, you mentioned potentially doing a new kitchen or a bath, then you're probably going to be on the lower end. But this is great information to share with them, whether or not they're thinking about refinancing, maybe they're thinking about, again, putting some improvements in, or, they over improve the property and they need to know that, all right, we put a lot of money into this property right now. If we want to keep it marketable, we probably don't want to put too much more money into the house because we won't get that return on investment. So again, this is what the report looks like. And as you go through the data on this report, you'll see it'll pull mostly from public records if there was a recent listing there, but it's going to pull all of the pertinent information. As always, you always want to confirm, square footage. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it might be off, depending if they recently put on an addition. What I've noticed is if the square footage is off here on the public records from the actual house, there was probably additional work that was done that was either not considered living space or potentially they didn't pull a permit for it. So that could be a conversation. Hey, you know what, for tax purposes, I know you put that addition on, it's not showing public records. It probably, that'll help give you some relief on your taxes. But if you do consider reselling down the road, you're going to want to get that fixed because that's going to hurt you financially. That property won't appraise as high because you're not reflecting the true square footage. So a lot of other information there, age of the home, when it was built, etc. But this is just, basically it's going to have the photos from the last time it was listed there. But people, when you show them this and this is their house, they're going to open it. They're going to go through it, right? And if you do it correctly, it's going to be branded to yourself. On RPR, you could put your own photo in. I don't remember if I saw one on top. You could put your contact information on top. here. Trish just had her name in here, but you can add your contact information, your photo as well too. So this is something they're going to hold on to. They're not just going to open it up and throw it in the trash or skip over it. This is important information about their house. It's going to give them all the public information that we have, who the current owners are, legal descriptions of the house, and so on, right? Photos. Let's see, I don't think Willie's popped back on yet here. Lost it. All right, let's run with it. So I had a copy of cover letter that would go along with this, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about this cover letter as well here. So as I mentioned before, you can put some sort of cover letter like this with it ahead of time if you just want to drop it in the mail. We like to drop these in the mail with the cover letter and then follow up with a phone call at the end of the year. But you could say, hi, put the family name in there. How's the market? Number one question I receive to sellers on a daily basis. But what they're really asking, as I mentioned before, is how much is my house worth, right? I'm Willie Miranda. I currently live in Sherwood Forest. This is something he would send to his neighbors as well. Great neighborhood, my home. A little bit of background about himself and that he's a real estate broker. If they're past clients, they know this, but if you're sending it out to a neighborhood you want to do business in, this is a great way to do it as well. Just print the house up, you have access to it, and send this letter attached with it, right? And the real estate market is continuing to prove that it's truly a seller's market, supply and demand and inventory. And let's see here. I've attached this easy to read report, which will give you a quick snapshot into your current estimated value. But one of the things it notes is that this is only a number, right? It's computer generated, just like his estimate, for your home based on public records and such as square footage, the numbers in bedrooms and baths, etc. If you're looking for an in-depth analysis of your property or consider selling or refinancing, remove mortgage insurance, etc., this is a great. I'll be happy to assist you. But in reality, when you're following it up with a phone call, is you're reminding them that this is just based on data. This has, no reflection on our personal opinion. I haven't been in the home either ever or recently, right? So it's a, good way to segue into if you're thinking about selling or you want a better value, when can I come over and see the property? And that will at least, if I can come in and go through the property, you'll be able to gauge that number, that range, if it's closer to the higher end or the lower end based on condition. And at the end of the day, that's what people want to know. So they want to know what their home is worth. Potentially, they may be considering selling, or maybe they just want the information. I would go anyways, whether they're selling or not, just to, keep that relationship intact and hopefully earn some goodwill in the form of referrals. So let me see what other goodies I have here. I'm going to stop showing my screen here, but that is the cover letter for you guys. And on this topic here, we also had home value report. We got those notes. So this sample cover letter for RPR report. So we'll give you a little bit of a script as well, how to use this when you're doing the follow-up call or sending this over. Oh, I thought it said Mary. Come on. Guys, can I just tell you, I hate dealing with one screen. All right. Hi, may I speak to so-and-so? This is Willie from Miranda Real Estate Group. How are you doing today? Just wanted to give you a quick call because I know it's been just over almost like a blank since you bought your home with me. And from time to time, I like to provide my clients with a free annual report. This update will give you a ballpark idea of what your home is currently worth, right? Ballpark market based on other homes that are selling in your area. And that's the big key people forget sometimes. It's not so much the condition of their home, it's what things you're going for in the area. So you want to make sure you mention that. Would you be interested in receiving this report? Yes, 99% of the time people want the report. They want to know what their home is worth. Okay, great. What's the best email address for me to send this report to? So if you don't already have their email address, if you do, you could just confirm it. If not, it's a great way to update your CRM. say, I don't have an email address for you, or the email address I have is still accurate or correct. Oh, let me correct that. So as I mentioned, this report will be a ballpark figure and what other homes are sold for in your area. Please review the report and let me know if you have any questions. One last thing, and you want to say the person's name where it says client there. Do you know anyone else, right? We're asking, interested in receiving this type of report for their home. What are we trying to do there? Any other neighbors or any other people that are potentially looking to sell, and we could provide this report, right? So it's a great tool. If they like what they're seeing for their home, they might be more willing to give you a referral and help someone else. Well, I know my coworker was getting ready to sell. She doesn't live in my neighborhood, but a report like this on her house would be great, right? Or my sister, or my, a good friend of mine. So these things will spur conversations and open up doors to potential new business in the form of other referrals. So make sure you want to ask that question. If you don't ask the question, the call really doesn't count. If you don't ask for the business or ask for a referral, that's one thing that most real estate coaches will tell you. You can call 100 people and talk to 100 of them, but if you don't ask for a referral or business, don't put the notch down as a call. It doesn't count, right? So that's a great line right there. Do you know anyone else? I'll get this information right out to you, and if you know anyone looking to buy or sell a home, please give me a call with their name and number, and I'll take good care of them. Now, one of the things it says right there is give me their name and number, and I'll call them. A lot of agents, I'll hear them say, hey, if you know anyone else looking to buy or sell, give them my number, right? You're putting the responsibility of future business in their hands. Give me their name and number, and I'll be more than happy to take care of them, right? So you want to say that I'll reach out to them directly, and I'll take care of them. Willie Bucks optional there is that's something that we can offer any kind of a discount, right? For example, Willie Bucks, hey, if you know anyone else that's looking to buy or sell, I'll take care of them. I can give them $500 off on my commission at the time of closing. I like to call that Willie Bucks. And that has to go, it's legal, but it has to go to the client, not on the referral. So I don't want anyone getting confused on this call. We're not offering a discount or credit or money to anyone that's referring business, but the actual customer and the client, if they're coming in the form of a referral, you want to set yourself apart. That's why he's got that there is optional. You can offer that out as an optional way of securing more business to them. All right, stop screen on that one. Let's see what else I got here. Boom. Any other additional information on the market that you want to send over, whether it's from GCAR stats, or these are nice if you follow Brian Buffini. He does print out for a lot of his clients, agents that are part of his coaching program, or even just going on their website. He puts on a nice, good annual report, marketing report. This is an example of one. I don't know how recent this one is, but just to show you, yeah, it'll go through information on the state of the market. It'll give them some snapshots of by region, some mortgage stats information to the buyer, information to the seller. So just great, just educational information, right? I was out in Boston, and Willie and I were out in Boston a couple of weeks ago. I met with a guy that was speaking. He's actually a publicist for a magazine. And one of the things he shared with everyone that he's speaking to is your information is your currency. So providing information is your currency. And this is a great example of information that you can provide that is your currency. You can get reports like this. This is an example from a Brian Buffini, but I've seen a lot of reports like this. If you go on National Association of Realtors website, if you go to your local MLS boards, they will have reports on local stats and statistics. But again, any information that you could send along with regards to what's going on in the market, along with that letter, along with that report from the RPR, that's going to go a long way, right? And let's see if I can, oops. I want to go to GCAR here. Come on. I want to show you our local stats here, so bear with me, guys. I have this bookmarked here. Hopefully you can still see this on my screen. So if I have a home like that particular one there, I'll go over to stats. I'm going to try to grab the most recent reports there. So I could send this report, which is on the whole area, but if I really want to hit them in their backyard, there's other additional stats and reports that pertain to that. One is in Half Moon, I believe. So let's see if yep, there it is, Town of Half Moon. The RPR report that we had an example that Trish had there. I will also send this Town of Half Moon. And, don't worry about it if it's a little bit dated or old. It's information, right? You're providing information. You're providing a snapshot at a time, even if it's 30 days, 45 days. It typically takes a good 3 weeks after the end of a month close for numbers to be updated. But this is important information. They had an $800,000 value on that report, right? So it shows that they're above market, what's going on in the area. This information will give them how long it's taking, days on market. So this is great information that you could say, hey, I sent along with you not only a report on your property, but also on the Town of Half Moon. And I'd be more than happy to go through some of those numbers with you and tell you how it impacts, your home if you're thinking about selling it or you're thinking about putting improvements or refinancing. There's some great data here. I believe those people in that example bought in 2016. So down here, you could see the market was down, I don't know, let's call it 8%. And then where it's up now, almost 10%. So you could say the market's increased 18% since you bought the property. But it looks like their value, jumping from that $520,000 purchase price to almost $900,000 has beat the market. So the value of your house is actually growing faster than the market in Half Moon. So these are good stats to look at. All right, guys, I'm going to stop sharing this for now. Oh, looks like Willie's back on. Can you hear me, Willie? Great. Guess what? You can hear me. We can't hear you. Unmute your mic. I'll stop sharing my screen here.
How about now? Can you hear
me? There you
go. All right.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, we had
really what I just finished. Good timing. What I just finished, I went over the RPR report. I went over the notes. I went over the cover letter, and I went over some market stats that you can include, and also marketing information from Brian Buffini. But with all that, I know you've done this before, and you've also sent it out mailing, and just probably elaborate. And if you want to take the controls back, because this is a struggle, one screen, maybe you could see if there's any questions out there for conversation. I'll make you organize it.
I just want to make it a point that, this does definitely work, and we're seeing an accountability now where people are calling their past clients, offering them free CMA, offering them, basically just some information on what their home is currently worth. And they're getting a lot of traction. They're getting conversations like I have over the years where, they're looking to either downsize or looking to get something a little bit bigger. Whatever that may be, is what they're trying to do. And I tell you, about 3 weeks ago, I had a client, his name is Bill, and I reached out to him, same type of thing. I saw it was his 3-year anniversary. I reached out to him thinking, 3 years, he's probably pretty happy where he was. And when I called him, he goes, well, you're not going to believe this. He goes, I just got a promotion and it may require me to move out of the area, and you happen to call me, right? I'm like, great, what's going on? So we had a conversation. I won't get into all the details with it, but basically his home that he bought for $975 is now worth $1.3. He wants to list that, and he's doing a relocation to Rhode Island, and that's going to probably be almost a $2 million house there. So again, it came from just a quick phone call. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I can't believe it's been 3 years. And that's how the conversation went. So if you guys are not doing that, even if you're just new into business and just starting off, you can offer it to people that people that are in your center of influence. Let them know that you have access to these reports, and you'd be more than happy to send it out to them. And it works. It definitely works.
And Willie, report aside, you know, that the fact that you contacted that person, it's a good thing that you got him. The timing's good because he probably would have been referred someone for the relo from the relo company, right?
Yeah, you know, Brian, so true. And I've lost people like that in the past where I had my own neighbor that said, hey, Willie, I just want to let you know my house is going on the market. And if you have any buyers, you know, bring them over. And I'm like, what do you mean you're going on the market? Why didn't you call me? He goes, well, I'm with GE and we're relocating and I had to use the 3 agents that they recommended. And I'm like, well, who are you with? And he goes, well, you know, Cardis. I go, well, we work with Cardis all the time. I said, they just want a referral fee. I could have done that. He goes, oh, I didn't know that. Right. So we have to educate our list. But if you're making those phone calls and you're having those conversations and there's any inkling of them relocating, you want to let them know that you work with all relocation companies. And basically all the relocation companies looking for is that referral fee, right? Because you don't want to take the benefit away from your client of relocation and what they get with that. But you also don't want to lose a listing. And that was a pretty nice listing. I mean, it probably went in like 8 days and, you know, it was probably a good $20,000 commission check that I lost out on. So, but yeah, so it definitely works. I got a question here that came up. You might have mentioned it, but I might have missed it. I was wondering who is or are the target receivers of the RPR report for the annual home value? Only past clients or possibly prospects? If prospects, how do you choose them? So
all the above.
Yeah, all of the above. I mean, you could use them both ways. Like we use them. Brian showed you an example, right, of the RPR letter that you can send out for the street, your neighborhood or street. I've done that. That's worked very, very well when we've sent that out. I have a neighborhood in my development that we sent out just over 300 of them. And out of that, we had 3 listings that came pretty quickly from it. Actually, the lady and her husband came into my office with the actual letter in hand, with the RPR letter. So listen, you know, if you want to be perceived as the expert, the authority, the celebrity of the neighborhood that you're going after, you get what you ask for, right? I always said that. You get what you ask for. So if you're asking for listings and you're giving them good information, you're educating the public on it, they're going to use you. They're going to perceive you as someone that's knowledgeable and educating them on the process. But if you don't do that, then you're a secret agent. No one even knows that you're in real estate. So you can't complain when you see a neighbor's home going on the market or someone in a geographic farm area. They just don't know who you are. Right. So yeah, so that's the answer to that. You could use them for clients. Specifically, I mean, this call, we were talking about the annual client follow-up. That's basically going to be your clients or your people in your COI, but you could do them for farm areas. It works both ways.
Yeah. And Willie, one of the things I failed to mention, just you know, for agents on the call, what's RPR? How do you access it? If you're not using it or you haven't accessed it before, you guys all have access to it. It's part of your subscription to the MLS, at least here in the Capital District. But as I mentioned before, most MLSs that are affiliated with NAR also have RPR access, and that's a national database. You can not only just use it for properties here in the Capital District, but someone has a vacation home down in Florida or in another state, you could put that address in the toolbar there. It'll pull up that property, and then you'll have a report selection tool that you can select reports. But Willie, I talked about branding it to make sure that they brand it to themselves as well, so that it's a report that when they open it up and they keep it, your name and phone number is there if they have any questions, and they're not using that report to contact other people with it.
Yeah. Good call. Good call on that. All right. Any other questions that you guys have? I had all my stuff nice and neat, opened up for everyone. Any other questions?
It was a struggle, but I got through it with this small screen here. You get spoiled with those dual monitors, you know?
I know it. I know it. Yeah, I ended up, for some reason, my computer overheated and shut everything off. So back up on now. So Brian, what do you see in front of you? Do you see the syllabus here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So this is basically our last call. Well, I shouldn't say last call. We do have one more important call at the end of the year on the 17th. The annual home value call, we just went over, gave you some different examples of what you can do, whether it be a prospect or whether it be a client that you're working with, or a past client that you worked with in the past. And it worked very, very well. course wrap up, if you kind of go through what we went over, the module 1, we talked about marketing and advertising techniques. We went over a lot of different things with lead generation pillars and weekly emails that are crushing it for a lot of our agents, geographic farming with examples. And then we had a guest speaker speak on that. Module 2, we went over a lot of stuff with Jeff Miller, who's just great at doing flips and the Bird method and doing all kinds of things with that. He talked about investments, if you want to get into that. We talked about technology with AI. We talked about social media platform, ChatGPT, had a guest speaker for that. And then with the module 4 and 5, we talked about seller prospect, everything from getting a listing, from knocking on that door to the time you leave and ask for the order, but how to do how to price homes correctly, how to do a CMA. We went over our listing presentation, did the same thing on the buyer side. How do you get buyer leads? How do you negotiate the best terms for your buyer? Went through the buyer presentation, negotiations, and writing offers. And then, module 6 is where we're at now, client for life system, how to get more referrals, how to do client and community events. And then we did today's annual home value call. So we're going to be sending out, if you guys are registered for this, which, you couldn't be on this call if you weren't registered, you will get a new masterclass schedule for 2026 coming up here by the end of the year in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to we're going to change some things up a little bit. We will change up some different topics and some different calls on this. But make sure you get signed up. Make sure you get them into your schedule for 2026, because again, everything's changing. Don't look at here and say, oh, I already heard about lead pillars, so I don't need to be on that call. It's always different. We're always bringing you up the latest stuff, the latest information that's working out there. This year, I probably traveled more this year than any year. Brian, you can attest to that. I mean, I've been all over the globe, it feels like. But, I was able to get in some really good rooms this past year that we're going to be sharing with you guys in 2026 on some of that information. So that's going to be available for you guys coming up. And all of the recordings on all of these, all the information, all the downloads, all that is on our Facebook group. If you guys haven't been to that Facebook group, I'll pull it up right now for you. It is, I always get it wrong. I think it's the Real Estate Masterclass.
Real Estate Blueprint Masterclass.
Let's see. Real Estate Blueprint Masterclass. There it is.
Yeah.
So if you're not on here, make sure you get signed up as a member. Real Estate Blueprint Masterclass. It has all of those recordings. So every recording that we've done, this was last week on client relationship management, but it goes through, and if there's any downloads that go with them, they're all in here. Buyer prospecting, buyer presentation, podcasts. I mean, everything is here for you guys. Yeah, this is a private Facebook group, so you just have to get logged on and get accepted in. You're a real estate agent, pass it to a friend, someone that that's in real estate or wants to get in real estate. They're more than welcome to come. But we do this every other Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. and we're going to continue doing that going into the new year. So, all right, any questions, any feedback that anyone on the call wants to give us? A lot of people not on this call today, Brian. They're already in what we call vacation mode, right? A lot of them are checked out, is what I was saying before.
Separation season.
Separation season, you're right. This is where a lot of people pumping the brakes and taking the rest of the year off and made enough money this year, or just feel that people are just not buying in the month of December, and that's just not true. You still have to train, you still have to do your push-ups, you still have to do your activities, and we're here, right? There's no reason why other people can't be here as well. But again, with that, just want to make sure that you guys are aware of the tools that we have to offer here. So, all right, I think we're good, Brian, unless you have anything in closing you'd like to go over.
No, it's just been a pleasure going through all these different modules. We see them as definitely different areas that will enhance your business and that you really should have a good handle on. So we'll hope to see most of you back again in 2026, and looking forward to the final call that you have in 2 weeks here at the podcast. I believe you're interviewing
Dream.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interviewing
seasoned experienced agent. Yeah.
I'm interviewing a top real estate broker, associate broker from Exit Real Estate, and she's down in New Jersey. She's a member that I've coached for many years on and off. Actually, I'm still coaching them now. And she just does a great job with listings. She does a great job with marketing. And she's, 20 $30 million producer each and every year. And she's going to be on next week's Live with the Leader call. So that's going to, not next week, the week after, the 17th. So 17th at 1 p.m., make sure you put that into your schedule. Take a look for Trisha's email that comes out and make sure that, you get on there live, because it's always good to ask questions and go on to those calls live, and more importantly, execute on some of the things that you learn. The other thing too, if you have not registered for this, go to resuccesssummit.com.
Yep, I was just going to mention that too. And those are for agents that are not only just local in our market, but if you're an agent that follows us in this training, you're all invited, but you have to register so we can save a spot for you.
Yeah, so here it is on the screen here, resuccesssummit.com. I don't know why this is not loading. My computer's not cooperating with me today, but it's going to be on January 8th from 1 to 6 p.m. We have speakers. We have a career panel coming up. Agents doing, $15, $20 million plus business. Going to be speaking how they did it and give you some thoughts on what to do in today's market and how you could do the same. We also have a social media panel going up there talking about the do's and don'ts of social media, but how they're getting, some of them up 50, 60% of the business coming from social media. And then we got a kick-ass speaker, Jason Posnick, coming from Lamakia's. He's his sales director for Lamakia Real Estate Group out in Boston. And this guy just crushes it. He's going to bring so much energy, so much great stuff on mindset, but more practical things that you should be doing going into this new market, right? This new environment that we have in real estate. And he's going to be sharing that stuff. And then right after that, we're going to have a cocktail hour with a lot of your fellow agents. And it's just a great event. Probably going to be looking at around 300 to 350 agents again this year. So it's definitely something that you want to sign up for. So resuccesssummit.com, right? RE like real estate, successsummit.com. Make sure you guys sign up for that if you have not done so, because we're already almost 50% sold out. And it doesn't cost you anything, it's free, but it's, once those seats are gone, they're gone. All right.
Yeah, and thank you to, we're able to do that because of the sponsors that we have. So attorneys, lenders, home inspectors, beyond. And if you guys have a great vendor that you work with that you want to recommend, send them our way. We'll love to reach out and talk to them as well.
Yeah, there you go. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And we'll talk to you guys here in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye.